Stay tuned.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
So,
hear you.
United Youth. Sorry, sir. So, can we start
Yeah,
with the
go ahead.
session? Yes,
Yeah,
thank
please
you.
go ahead.
United Youth for Sustainable Developmental Group organizes an interactive webinar to celebrate Mandela Day 2021. Nelson Mandela gave 67 years of his life fighting for the rights of humanity. His birthday, 18 July, is celebrated as Mandela Day, a day where people can offer 67 minutes of their time. Yeah, I'm able to hear my voice twice. What's the issue?
Yeah, there's a background noise somewhere. I
No,
don't know
someone
where
is
it's
on
coming from.
mute.
There's a background noise somewhere.
Okay. So, yeah, Nelson Mandela gave 67 years of his life fighting for the rights of humanity. His birthday, 18 July, is celebrated as Mandela Day, a day where people can offer 67 minutes of their time to make a difference in the lives of others. The essence of Mandela Day, take action, inspire change, and make every day a Mandela Day, is important more than ever before. Communities across the world are affected by the spread of COVID 19, which has hit every economy, causing new social and economic challenges and worsening the old ones. But we believe there is hope. On a scale never seen before, individuals and groups are finding ways to help those in the need of support. Today, we have amazing speakers with us. We call on you to be active citizen in your community, individually or as part of one of the millions of groups getting together to start initiatives around delivering food parcels, making masks and protective gear, teaching online, or making donations towards these efforts. We call on you to contribute to each One Feed One campaign, join a community initiative, or start your own. So now it's the time to when one speak. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Anissa. So we'll start with our session webinar, introducing our first speaker, Mrs. Loretta. I don't, I'm really sorry with the pronunciation, but Loretta, ma'am, she's the executive director at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Initiative, ambassador for World Plus Community. She believes to build peace in her communities through health, environment justice, gender, and conflict resolution. We proudly welcome you today to this webinar, ma'am. Eagerly waiting to hear your thoughts and values. I would like to hand over to you, ma'am.
Okay, good evening, everybody, and happy Mandela Day. It's actually a thing of honor. I'm elated to be part of this webinar. And seriously, it is not just every day that one has to speak on a day for a very wonderful person like Mandela. And for me as a Nigerian, I grew up hearing Mandela and I tried to look into his life, what he stands for. And I saw that he was somebody that was so strong, so resilient, that wanted the best for his people. Despite the difficulties that he was facing at that time, he didn't give up. He wanted the best and he actually got it because he stood his ground. He was ready to die for what he believed in. And now, fast forward to say that we as a people in the world, as human beings, what do we stand for? What is our belief? Do we stand in our belief or are we ready to waver and do something different simply because we want to flow with the tide? We want to flow with the trend. We want other people to see us as the best. So we change from our resolve to do good to compromise. And maybe instead of standing for the right or the good, we are now trying to see how we can paint it to be good, whereas we know it is evil. And if we actually look at what today's theme is, he said, one hand, one hand can feed another. For me, is a very inspiring and a motivating caption. One hand can feed another. How far are we supporting others? Whether you have or you don't have, there's something you can do for your neighbor. There's something you can do for your children. There's something you can do for your mother. There's something you can do for your husband. There's something you can do for your brother or your sister. There's something you can do for your associates, your friends. Hello, am I being heard?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay.
Loud and
There's something you can do for everybody. And if you look at our world now, we are passing through a very difficult time, the time of pandemic. It is across the world, it is not limited to one place. And the world is passing through too much challenges, difficulties, depression. People are being suicidal. People are trying to meet up with the economic crunch. There's so much pains going on in the world. And how are we showing kindness? How are we empathizing with these people? How are we showing support for one another? I know that even you also could be passing through pains, but even in your pains, there's something you can do for somebody. You can offer a word of kindness. You can offer a word of wisdom. You can show love. You can share little happiness. It is not all rosy, and it is not also all bad, and it is not also all sorrow. There's also a little window of kindness, a little window of wisdom, a little window of happiness, love, joy. So at every point, we should be able to show others little kindness. We should be able to show people empathy. We should be able to share a little knowledge of what we know and what we think is right with others. There's so much pains that we need joy, we need happiness, we need love, more especially love and understanding. We cannot be judgmental and think that we are helping somebody. No, we need to understand the pains these people are going through. Our journeys did not start in the same place, and our journeys will not also end in the same place. So we have different journeys, we have different times, just like we have different time zones. That is how we have different times. We have different moods. But what everybody needs is love. What everybody needs is understanding. What everybody needs is empathy. What everybody needs is wisdom. What everybody needs is sympathy. What everybody needs is happiness, kindness, joy. So I feel that if today we make up our mind that we want to support one another, we can achieve more. We can heal the world by empathizing, by showing love and understanding, by sharing happiness and love and kindness. We can heal the world. The world will be a better place if we all can make up our mind and say, I want to be good. I want this change I seek to start with me. We need to start with us. We need to change our life. We need to live the life we preach, not do as I say, but do not do as I do. We have to stand and in our words have to be our bond. And our word being our bond, we must be one who shares around happiness. We must be one who encourages others. We must be one who is ready to give. We must be one who is ready to support at all times. No matter the pains we are feeling as a person, we should also be ready to support others passing through pain. We should be able to encourage others to live a better life. If you feel that somebody is not doing something right, it is not for you to quarrel. It is not for you to be judgmental. It is for you to empathize with that person, bring that person closer, and let that person understand that what he or she is doing is not right. Correct in love and not by castigating, not by stigmatizing, not by discriminating. Our world can be a better place if we can accept everybody as they are and try to help and support that person to change for the better, assuming we think the person is not doing right. No stigmatization can change anything. But if we can drop all stigmatization, drop all segregations, drop all hatred, drop all violence, and live in peace, learn to cohabit with everybody, learn to live with everybody, learn to lend a helping hand, irrespective of the person's creed, religion, gender, race, color. We can if we want. And because I know we can, that is why I am saying this. So we can actually be that hand to feed the other. We can actually be that person to support the next person. We can actually be that which we want others to be. But first of all, let it start with me. There's every goodness in all of us. Why don't we resolve to bring out that goodness and show it to the world and show it to my neighbor and show it to the next person? And sometimes when we talk about neighbor, we talk about other people outside our immediate family. Your husband, your children, your wife, your sisters, your brothers, your mother, your father are your neighbors. They are your immediate neighbors. So treat them right as you will want to be treated. Address them right as you will want to be addressed. Give them those things that are good that you also want to enjoy as a human being. The same water and blood that flows in your veins is what flows in their own veins. Let's forget about violence. Let's forget about jealousy. Let's forget about envy and live for love. If we live for love, our world will be healed. Our world will be better. Our world will be peaceful. So I stand to say that yes, I want to be that hand that can feed another. I want to be that hand that can support another. I want to be that hand that can encourage others. As leaders, we must at all times communicate clearly what we want others to be. And it has to start with us by living a good life. If you live a good life, others will follow. But if you do not live a good life, they will say, oh, this person, I will also follow what she's doing. So I want to be that hand and that person that will live a good life and allow others to live the kind of life I am living. So I am standing on my word today to pledge that I, Loretta Ahokbeme, of Our Lady of Perpetual Help Initiative, a change maker and digital ambassador for World Pulse, and of course, an ambassador for United Sustainable Globe, that I will be that hand that will feed another. Thank you very much for the wonderful opportunity to speak.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your inspirational thoughts, ma'am. The importance that you shared about the values, kindness, empathy, to be honest, which is lost in the present scenario. like due to COVID and due to their own personal reasons. But you made sure that you spoke what you spoke through your words. You made sure that everything that is important is to care for each other and love towards each other, and that's most surviving thing left for us. Thank you for that wonderful talk from your side, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I appreciate.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yes. We'll move on to our next speaker. We have Mrs. Ketura Sharma. Ketura Sharma is award-winning humanitarian, philanthropist, human rights champion, peace ambassador, and change maker whose life is dedicated to defending, protecting, and promoting rights of girls through advocacy and social service delivery. Mrs. Ketura Sharma is founder of Girls Education Mission International, a global award winning organization with best practice in education and empowerment of girls, where she currently serves as the executive director. Ketura's passion and commitment to technology earned her recognition as digital ambassador at World Plus. Sharma is well known for breaking barriers that holds girls back such domestic violence, sexual assaults and trafficking. As a women's rights advocate, she advocated through written and oral memos before various committees of the Joint National Assembly on the public policy changes that are detriment to the development of women and girls in Nigeria. So, ma'am, overlooking about your introduction, it was really amusing, and we are privileged to have you here today, ma'am, with your incredible accomplishments and success stories, which inspires us to work with commitment and dedication. So, without wasting much time, I would like to hand over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I
Let
can
me,
hear you, ma'am. We can hear you.
yes. Thank
We
you
can
very
hear
much
you.
for the opportunity for me to contribute my quarter on this platform. Actually, the Mandela Day has been part of a day that my organization observed. I remember we, as an organization, we have partnered with Civicus to hold a democracy dialogue at the last 2 years in 2018 when Mandela clocked 100 years. And during that time, we discussed about imagining democracy for the development of women in Nigeria, and we discussed various issues. That was the time when I had the opportunity to read more and also understand some of the belief and values of Nelson Mandela. I thank my sister Loretta in Walpos, where she shared a bit. She emphasized more on the belief and values of Nelson Mandela, of which is the belief and values that we are holding on. And every year on the 18th July, we also remember those beliefs. So I want to really base on those beliefs. We talked about one hand can feed another, which is surrounded by, you made mention, love and care. So, but from my background, you have had, I work in ensuring that women and girls get access to quality education. Mandela is someone who believes in the education of women. I remember in one of his quotes, he said the nation can only achieve when the women of that country are being educated. And this is one of the beliefs of Mandela. For us to show love and care to one another, there is a saying that says we should not we don't give continue to give love and care to one another. We should also show love and care to one another.
Ma'am, we can't hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yeah, we can hear you, ma'am. Yeah.
Hello, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am. Please continue.
Hello, I said, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can hear you. So what I'm saying, I am just basing on the belief of Nelson Mandela on education. Let me read from one of his quotes, the quotation from Nelson Mandela. He said, "No country can develop unless its citizens are educated." It's one of the quotations, the words of Nelson Mandela, of which, as I have said, education is one of the strongest tools that you can give as parents, you can give your children to break barriers of poverty, to break challenges we are facing in a country. Without education, we can't solve problems we are facing in our country, whether issue of poverty, issue of need, even the COVID-19 that we are experiencing these days. We discover that education has been affected greatly because of schools. Like in my country, Nigeria, education now is something else. So for and education is the strongest tool of development you can give. You know why we render helping hand? There are countries that are richer, are trying to reach out to countries that are poor. So, but education is one of the tools that one can use to break down poverty. So for me as a woman to help ensure I am giving a helping hand to women and girls is not just about giving them food every day, but I try to ensure they have access to quality education, because with that education, they will have access to the economy, they will have access to their health, because when they know about their health, they should be able to take care of that. Coming back, I will still want to mention one of the statements of Nelson Mandela, of which he said, a fundamental concern for other in our individual and community lies, and community lives will go a long way in making the world better place we so passionate dream about. So these are the words of Mandela. That is a concern to another. You know, you can't just take into action of giving a helping hand without having a concern. Any help and support you need, you render, comes from a concern. Let me take, like, for me in my organization, why did I start program on girl child education? It's a concern from the situation I have seen girls in my community, and also from a little of my experience. So I was so concerned about those situations, and I thought of doing something to change this situation. So there has to be a concern from within. It's rather unfortunate, like I'll still say it, in my country, Nigeria, these days, I feel it's because there is no that concern that has to do with the education of our children. And that is why you will see our policies on education is not a priority to the government or parents, because they don't have concern with the future of their children. You see them, they are not giving much attention. They are not taking action to ensure their children have gone to school, because they don't have concern on their education and future of their children. So one of the greatest things we should have first at the back of our mind is for us to have concern in the situation of people around us. Without that, we won't be able to do anything. And also Mandela have said, there can be no greater gift than that of giving one's time and energy to help others without expecting anything in return. I'm just getting all these awards of Mandela. You know, the greatest thing you can do is to give your time, your energy, and your skills. You know, sometimes we feel until we have money, we will be able to give a helping hand. Sometimes I hear people do say, no, we don't have ketura, we don't have money to donate to your organization to support these girls. But Mandela is saying that you can also give your time. If you don't have money, you have time. You can give your time to go to school to render help and teach children. Organize a reading club in your community. It's giving your time, your skills, and energy. There are children that cannot go to school because of the insecurity. So if you are able to give your time as a maybe professional teacher in your community to set these children monthly or weekly, you will be meeting with them and teaching them classes. You are not giving them money, but you are giving your time and your skills. And these children, they will feel the impact of COVID-19 just because they don't have access to school. You are rendering help and support. So there are various ways we can give support through our time. Yes, our money, if we have the money, we donate. There are people that really have funds, but they don't see the need of supporting each other. So one of the belief of Nelson Mandela is you can give your energy. Mandela has given his life completely, not just money. We have seen that. I've just read he has been in the prison for, I think, 27 years, and after that he came out and become a president. So in a summary, well, I don't know how many minutes I have to talk, but in summary, what I am saying is that for us to, we have all responsibility to help one another. For us to fight the impact of COVID-19 pandemic is not a one-man thing. We need to come together and contribute our own quota. But what I am saying is that since it is a Nelson Mandela Day, if we are to hold on to his belief of love and care, he ensured that that has to do with education. In almost of his beliefs, you hear you always mention of education. You know, COVID-19, we are discussing about this issue. It has to do with the yes, tackling the effect of COVID-19, because that is what we are basing for. So I feel education is one of the greatest thing we can use that to ensure that yes, we are out of this mess, because education is a tool to break down poverty. If we have education, if children have education, the poverty rate will reduce, and also the need for people to help will reduce, because we have less people that are living in poverty. So let's take education. For me, in my organization, that is why I said my organization is Girls Education Mission International. We are committed in ensuring the education of vulnerable girls. And you know, a country or a nation, a world cannot succeed without the education of children. So I'm using this platform to call on, in fact, it's an opportunity I'm looking for to call most especially my country, Nigeria, and other African countries to see the need of prioritizing education. Call on the parents to see the need of prioritizing the education of our children, because with education, we will be able to solve the issue of poverty that will reduce the needs around us. When we have less issues on problems of poverty, the call for support will be less. And I also call for, yes, organizations to see the need of coming up. You know, these days, one of the effect I read from your YouTube, from the YouTube of United, the background of introduction of this program, you made mention that it affected also the economy, the COVID-19. It has also affected the economy. Various organizations, I want to believe all of us here, the speakers that are here, we are founders of various organizations. We have been affected. Even donor organizations that have been giving money because of COVID-19, now they are saying there is no money for us to donate. So when the money to give is no more there, how can you even give the helping hand? That is where I said support is not just education. We can support by ensuring policies, good policies are being put in place. We can support by ensuring our children have access to basic quality education. By so doing, we are setting them free from any needs, any difficulties that they will face, and also giving them the tools that will help them solve their own problem. And for sure, when we have it, we see people in need, let's give in support. Well, maybe I will say some things again at the course of this program. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. You have been a source of inspiration to all of us, ma'am. Thank you for sharing Nelson Mandela's vision and concerns. Most importantly, thanking you for striking an importance of about education today. And you made sure to mention that all are born with different unique talents and that needs to be addressed. And talking about your works and experiences, it was wonderful to hear from you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now let's move on to our next speaker. We have Mr. Nelson Paku, sir, who is the founder CEO of Mothers Aura Foundation, comes from the region of Ghana. Mr. Nelson is an educationist, humanitarian, and a youth activist. Currently, he is the head teacher of Onakwasi. So, we are very proud to have you here. We would like to hear your thought provoking messages and inspiring values. I would like to hand over to you, sir.
Hello,
Yes, sir. We can
hello.
hear
Can you
you.
hear me there? Can you
Yes,
hear
sir, we
me?
can hear you. We can
Oh,
hear
thank you
you.
very much. Yeah, I'm happy to be part of this conversation. Like my name reads Nelson, I'm happy to be part of this great show and to also contribute my quota to the discussion and the way forward. Indeed, what I want to say is that today marks a very great day in the history of mankind. It's about a man who was selfless, gave his all for the freedom of others. It is now our turn to also consider giving the little we have in any way to promote a cause, just as Nelson did. Thank you, Mr. Mandela, for showing us the way. In fact, I will say the COVID 19 has exposed everybody, the developed countries, and us in the third world or underdeveloped economies. Each and everyone has been exposed. It is time that we lend a hand to each other in areas of support. It can be education, health, science, and technology. All these things cannot be based in one region of the world. We have to spread them equally so that each of us will benefit. I want to say that we need to bring each other together. No disparities. We don't have to look down on anybody. You realize that when this COVID came, many countries were in short supply of the vaccines. What we could have done earlier on in life was to set up some of these facilities in various parts of the world. We didn't, but COVID has exposed us. So, what I want to tell us today is that we need to fight poverty through education. As a teacher and in the region where I work, you see poverty is real. But how do we fight it? If people go to school, they learn a skill, then they can also help their families. I don't know what else to talk about, but taking inspiration from what others have said, I want to say that we need each other. The world needs every country. We need the individuals. We need to connect, just as we have done on this platform from various parts of the world, so that we share ideas and, where possible, we transfer knowledge and science to other areas that these things are in short supply. Thank you very much for now. I don't know if you call me again, but this is the little I'll say for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. The brief and little short note that you gave definitely struck our minds, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you
would
too.
like to call on the next speaker, Mrs. Bahsuda Modak, who is the director of Stromin a Teacup Foundation, channel ambassador of Tech Innovation, ambassador at World Plus, presented as top 21 women leaders of 2021. It feels so glad to welcome you and having you back to this forum today, ma'am. Your enlightened talk always keeps us amazed and inspiring us to work with dedication. Without wasting time, we would love to hear from you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Devika. Every time I get the opportunity to speak here, it seems as though the journey, the struggles that I'm doing is acknowledged and understood because there are very few people who actually acknowledge your journey. And today, on speaking on the occasion of Mandela Day, I think everyone in the world is watching South Africa. Everyone is seeing how South Africa is dealing with Mandela Week because it is extremely unfortunate that just 7 days before Mandela Day started, the father of South Africa actually, we had to face looters, politics, ruthless killing of people. And actually, it saddened me today that is this what I am living for my children? Because if you know, I am not born here, I am an Indian, But I am settled here for 7 years, more than 7 years now. And I have seen that every time South Africa is pushed to the edge, it somehow bounces back. Unknown, insignificant people like me, you, everyone there. You know what? Actually, what I find that South Africa is lagging. We are lagging a shared economy. When we talk about doing something for Mandela Day, it should not be stuck to today. We should not be having all these townships next to exclusive housing complexes. We should have an inclusive culture. As a person who has stayed in different parts of the world, I understand this concept that we need investment in South Africa as I speak to you today. But investment will not come if this sort of thing keeps happening because of politics. Everyone is afraid to invest in South Africa as of today. So, you know what we have to do? The reason why I'm saying is it's time for us, the common man, the man on the street, to take charge. We have to ask ourselves, what are we leaving for our kids? I keep on talking about girls in STEM. I keep on talking about improving, like Ketura just now said, that if we do not educate a community, we cannot have a future. But where am I going to talk about education? Who am I going to talk about education? Last 7 days, there have been instances where I could not reach milk, a basic commodity, and I had to tell them to feed kids rice water so that they don't cry. There was no bread in shops. I'm talking about the basicest community, basicest things that we take for granted, that is always available. You don't need to look for it. Last 7 days, we have all faced that. And you know what inspired me? Brand South Africa, there's a guy, Sidhembe Nitumbela, he told, it's time to do introspection as a nation. We must take charge. We must play our part, as clearly the future is in our hands. We cannot tell our children that because of apathy, because of whatever South Africa has faced before, this is why we cannot give you a job. South Africa today stands with the highest rate of unemployment. We cannot keep saying that. We have to be answerable to my kid. We have to be answerable to every single person. We are already seeing, if you look at Facebook, if you look at social media, even though it's still suspected that this looting and thing was done based on social media, but as I speak to you today, I'll share some videos and some pictures. Millions and millions of people have come together through social media, through Facebook, through WhatsApp, messaging every single organization in South Africa that's working to contribute in some way, either constructing, cleaning the streets, supplying food, anything and everything. And this is not a person who is rich. This is, like I'm specifying, South Africa today and the eve and when we are celebrating Mandela Day is showing the world that when a community comes together, nothing is impossible. Let me show you some slides I have captured from the last few days, and every single slide is inspiring because, irrespective of race, irrespective of community, irrespective of whether you are rich or poor, every single person has stood as one. Let me just share some things with you. You will love it. I just hope, as usual, I can find it. Yes. I'll start with a quote of Nelson Mandela because I believe in this as far as I can remember. The greatest glory in living lies not in ever falling, but in rising every time we fall. And this is the South Africa I live in today. And this is how we celebrate Nelson Mandela Day. Look at this picture. These guys went to Durban from Azadville and Nelasia in Johannesburg with their own trucks and security. They gave 32,000 loads of bread and milk being distributed to all nationalities for free in Henry Road, Durban. They are common people. The trucks were hired by them personally and they just went and distributed. Let me show you and share you how our community is celebrating Nelson Mandela Day. In Osizweni CBD shopping center, some good Samaritans from Newcastle, another place in KwaZulu-Natal, decided to contribute by sponsoring protective hand gloves, sandwiches, juices, and water. In a cleanup activity, these are all sent by people I asked for in Empangweni. Just a minute, sorry. I am talking, Sally. Please let me go. Shh, don't disturb. I'm sorry, my dog disturbed us. In Empangweni, the looters had turned it upside down. All these people, as you can see from the picture, there's an Indian, there is a Swedish, there is an Afrikaner, there is an African person. Everyone worked together regardless of race, tribe, and social status. This is the South Africa that is celebrating Mandela Day today. Today, I have just come with you with lots of pictures, and I want to send a message to everyone who is trying to divide us. If this whole unrest was meant to divide the common people, it extremely backfired on those who are behind it. It has brought communities together of all races, protecting and helping each other. Not only local, but every single one who has ever stayed here all over the world has tried to send money, has tried to send resources, has been available and chanting. If you look at the street of any country in the world today, you will find a group of South Africans praying for the people who are staying in South Africa. This is the spirit of Ubuntu that we look forward to on Mandela Day. And I remember this is a big thing. Umpakati ofilayo umbude, long live the community. Ukuthula nokushuma, peace and prosperity. Nelson Mandela said, our daily deeds as ordinary South Africans must produce an actual South African reality that will reinforce humanity's belief in justice, strengthen its confidence in the nobility of the human soul, and sustain all our hopes for a glorious life for all. This is the spirit of Ubuntu that I hope every listener listens and understands today. We South Africans are stronger together as I speak. Over to you, Devika ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. You never fail to amuse us, ma'am. It's always mesmerizing to hear from you. The realistic perspectives that you give is truly understandable, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming back and giving your inspiring thoughts with us. And thank you, ma'am. Yes, we'd like to move on to the next speaker, Mr. Abdul Muhammad Asadi, sir, founder of LIPAC Committee of Public Affairs, Libya, who represents as a MA degree in Translation and Interpretation, representative of Arab European Center for Human Rights and International Law in Libya. He has been facilitator of public-private dialogue project, human rights defender, researcher on Libyan political and human rights issues, peaceful coexistence promoter, women empowerment champion. I would like to welcome you back, sir. We are very privileged to have you as our speaker for the day. It feels very pleased to get to know about you and your discussion, sir. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Devika. Devika, thank you so much for being actually giving me this opportunity again to be with you and to be speaker. And happy Mandela Day to you all from different backgrounds, from different regions of the world. I'm from Libya. We have friends now from Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria, okay, different places. So we share thoughts and information about this wonderful opportunity. I think we all as consider ourselves as global citizens. So because I strongly believe in this notion that we can benefit from the legacy left by Mandela. Is it okay? You hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, we can benefit from the legacy left by Mandela. Actually, Mandela, it means conflict resolution, peace, uh, social justice, defender for human rights, children rights, gender equality, race relations, all these actually values. So we need actually to more to be digged into our communities, local communities. I think that when we have the opportunity to more engage with our community, local community, actually, to grow peace and to plant peace in ourselves and in our children and in our siblings. This actually will make our society, our states more stable. If I go back to the here, the things and ideas mentioned by the first speaker, Lady Loretta, she talks about peace. Peace is important. And Kitora talked about education. So I think education, what we need actually to have education. Education is a vital and a crucial human rights, should be available and accessible to all communities, to all children, to all people over the world. So we need to coordinate efforts in this regard, sharing information and linking needs to our resources, especially to safeguard and guarantee the quality of education for all children, reduce hunger in families through the provision of nutrition. It's important for provide safe shelter for families to live and thrive in, access of safe sanitation to communities, dedicate more resources and more efforts, as we are all, I think, human rights defenders, and we believe that cooperation across the regions of the world, across the globe, can actually make our lives better as a humans. More resources to support eradicate poverty, and how to actually joint efforts. And we have hand, shoulder by shoulder, hand with the other hand, and more hands to be in synergy and to be joined to launch more campaigns, especially to promotion the value of education, the eradicate poverty. And we have to ask ourselves how many children are early education leavers in our community, and how they are accessible to information and the internet at the same time, and how sanitation is available and affordable for each in our communities, and how the government is open to engage public in decision makings. I think this is important things. You know that there are now new trends and foreign policies pursued by states and governments. I think we are on the edge of digital transformation. Actually, we are in the process of digital transformation. So we need actually to integrate and incorporate all these things, digital transformation, climate policy. So we need to be aware of the climate policy because it has its impact in our economy and our education and our lives, and could be threatening to our lives in sooner future. Education, health systems, you know, the COVID-19 demonstrated how education and health systems in many regions and many states are fragile, and maybe they are not up to face these challenges, especially when there is a huge and massive health crisis like the spread of COVID-19. So information sharing, cybersecurity, women, youth participation in making decisions, this is important thing. Digital sovereignty, also safeguard democratic will and the freedom and say elections of people in different scope of powers to run the state. Misinformation and disinformation and malformations, how they impact our lives, and how maybe hold many communities back to be more and effective, engage with the decision making, and to be in democracy. So Nelson Mandela is the legacy. Is the legacy. So I think it's open for all humans, so we can benefit and we learn from this legacy, and we must actually have something in common, and we must believe in ourselves and to be more positive, to have all our efforts joined to make all these values reality. I thank you, the lady from the South Africa, who gave us some insights from the what's going on in South Africa, and this I think may actually pave the way to question ourselves as how our communities are inclusive. So we need actually, we know that South Africa is multi-ethnic region and multi-ethnic place. So and we think that Nelson Mandela has had all success to bring all the races together, and they have that democratic state. So how can actually have such all these things, democratic state, inclusive society, to be more durable and sustainable? All the journey we have to go as a humans, and how to fight for peace, for inclusiveness. I think we need actually to make more efforts. But from my perspective, when we have such kind of opportunity to share thoughts from different backgrounds and different educations and different culture and different language and different regions, actually we can learn from each other, and we can describe actually more the obstacles and the challenges and the problems in more realistic and the pragmatic way. So everyone has its thoughts, has ideas, maybe has its own mechanism and its tools and gear to deal up with the solution must be required to actually to get over such all obstacles and challenges. So I believe actually that holding such kind of conversation from time to time, maybe 2 times a month, or as we did before, could help each other and to actually and to make or to come up with a global or regional mechanism can actually detect and also suggest solutions for the obstacles we have, because I think the poverty, education, health are more pressing a challenge, not only for Africa, also for Arab states, for South Asian states, and also in the more democratic Western states. Thank you actually for giving me such opportunity. And I conclude, so one hand can feed one hand actually, and on the other hand, and more hands can feed more communities and actually have the globe more stable. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your opinions and your perspectives, sir, which is truly valuable today. And those thought provoking messages that you gave, yes, it reminds us that we are united, and how far or near we are connected. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your inspiring thoughts. Now, I would like to welcome Mr. Barmana Imruna Ahmed. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you, sir. Thank you for joining us today. We would like to hear about your experiences and your valuable thoughts, sir. Thank you for joining, and you can share any of your thoughts and experiences, sir. Sir, you're on mute. You're on mute.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you for welcoming me. I hope everyone can hear me now. Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
the
We
founder
can
of
hear you.
Center for Consultation and Islamic Counseling Services here in Ghana and back in the United States of America. But I'm back here in Ghana for a while for a program, which I think. I'm very happy to join this very important program for the Nelson Mandela Day. I think Nelson Mandela Day is a day that's not for only Africans, if I may say, or any particular race. Nelson Mandela is not an African. Nelson Mandela is the world. So all the speakers here attributed something that we learn from Nelson Mandela's habit or his legacy. So the thing that we can do now is to ask ourselves, who is Nelson Mandela? What is his role? What did he do? What did he achieve? And what did he want to achieve in his life before his departure? If we ask ourselves the role of Nelson Mandela in the world, then we can put ourselves in these shoes and move forward. Because all the speakers, everybody talked nicely concerning his role in this world. So celebrating his day, I want to go back to what is happening now in South Africa. It's a sad day. We pray this thing will not happen again because today is the happiest day to celebrate Nelson Mandela, and this is what we are observing in the South Africa today. But coming back to our speakers, somebody touches about education, general education, and education in general. Somebody touches on humanity. Somebody touches in humanitarian services. Everything that we talk today goes back to Nelson Mandela. That's what Nelson Mandela was trying to achieve, and he has achieved. And now it's about me and you, how we're going to do it, and what we can do so that later people will sit back and call our name and celebrate us. Because we don't need to celebrate people while they are alive. We don't need to celebrate people while they are dead. We need to celebrate people while they are alive. I want to touch a little bit something what I see. You see, we have challenges with our people with disability. We have a very, very big challenge, most especially in our sub-region. So I could remember I see a video of Nelson Mandela. He was walking on the road and he saw somebody with disability. Nelson Mandela came back, sat down with him, held his hand. He asked him, "Can you walk?" He said, "No. That's why I'm sitting down here." He provided him a wheelchair immediately before he left there. You understand what I mean? But now, what are we doing? If we're walking, we see people with disability. They don't have accessibility for a lot of things. So my organization always focus on kids with disability. If disability is not inability, everybody that is disabled have his own ability. So we should not kill their disability. I've moved with what I saw in the video that Nelson Mandela did. So my focus is on the kids with disability. So all the speakers spoke well. I think this is my first time coming on this platform, engaging in this conversation. I think all the time, every time that we have a forum, I hope I will be invited and be part. I don't want to talk much. I hope the only thing that I say will just go on and keep on with what we have on the board. Thank you for welcoming me once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. The moreover, what you said, it was our pleasure to invite you and welcome you, sir. It was very great to hear from you. Thank you for sharing. Overall, you made sure that things goes unnoticed with those concerns and Mandela's vision to build a helpful community, sir. Thank you. Thank you all of the speakers today who were with us today and made sure that it was a striking news to all of us, all the budding young minds here. Thank you for joining, ma'am. Thank you for joining, sir. And I don't see any speakers here. Other speakers.
Yes, some of the speakers are finding it difficult to rejoin the meeting. So they have
True,
been
true.
sending, yes. So I think because of the network, they are out.
Network problem. True.
Loretta has been trying to join, she couldn't.
Even Nelson, sir, has been trying.
Yes.
Yes. It's okay, not a problem. But we have made a successful webinar to strike the young minds out there. Thank you so much, all the speakers who have joined today and made sure that you delivered the best. Thank you, each one of you, and we'll wrap the webinar. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
ma'am. Thank you. Yes, we all can leave the meeting.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.